the Stanley Cup playoffs.
This is Hockey Night in Canada on Sportsnet. What a performance. Oh, did you see that? He's got the stick. He's in. Scores! Absolutely amazing.
Want to know what an appetite for destruction looks like? That's Edmonton. Happening right now. Avs and Oilers fans gathering outside Rogers Place in the Ice District on a beautiful evening. It's 20 degrees and sunny in the capital of Alberta. It's really lousy, unfortunately, in Denver tonight. Rain. They've canceled the ball game. So everybody's indoors at Ball Arena for a huge game. The Western Conference Final begins. If you want to compare yourself to something, compare yourself to an earlier version of yourself. I think that's the moral of the story for Nathan MacKinnon and Connor McDavid. They've been through a lot. Sometimes in the media avails you don't see joy, but you do see these two guys rededicate themselves year after year, both ends of the rink. All kinds of great numbers. What a showdown we have with Kelly Hrudey, Jennifer Botterill, and Elliot Friedman. And Kevin Bieksa will return on Saturday. He had to do his hockey school, and he's got to be there for the kids and Katie for just a little bit. That was in his contract, but we'll welcome Kevin back on Saturday. I know. Yeah. They want him to go to the hockey school. Kyle, why don't you set the scene down at Denver? To you we go.
Okay, Ron, well, just one lineup change for Colorado here in Game 1. Alex Newhook is in for Nicolas Aube-Kubel. No changes for the Oilers as fans have been salivating over this matchup the last few days with the amount of talent featured on both sides, if you haven't heard. And one of the more talked about TV shows this spring has been Winning Time, the dramatized look at Dr. Jerry Buss and the Showtime Lakers of the 80s. Now, Buss's first love when it came to sports was actually track and field. And he talked about it in an interview, saying the idea of trying to better yourself all the time is something that's just fascinating to me, and how many players in this series have pushed themselves to a level we didn't know was possible. This could be a beautiful blend between the speed and power of track and field and the finesse and freedom of Magic Johnson and company. Don Lucic of The Athletic wrote recently that Connor McDavid is the closest thing that hockey has to an NBA superstar with the way he is able to take over a game. We are not likely to see any skyhooks in this series, but the sky is the limit when it comes to what these two teams are capable of. The stage is set. The pom-poms are ready here in Denver. It's showtime. Ron?
It's fantastic. May 31st, 87, Kyle. The boys on the bus. The Edmonton Oilers beat the Philadelphia Flyers to win the Stanley Cup. This day in history. Our refs tonight, Kelly Sutherland and Gord Dwyer. As they'd say, that's not a slash. This is a slash. And Craig Simpson in the booth this evening, settling in at Ball Arena for Game 1 of the Western Conference Final, Edmonton and Colorado. Welcome to Hockey Night in Canada, the Stanley Cup playoffs, where it always feels like a Saturday night. Kelly, your final thoughts on Game 1 here today.
Okay, Nathan MacKinnon, when talking to Kyle, said about when you get to this point, you're very, very grateful. Well, that still doesn't help the nerves, right? So for both goaltenders, that's what you're looking for. You hope to get an early save in and help that nervousness disappear, Jennifer.
Well, you've got to keep an eye for Cale Makar for Colorado, but I think the attention has to lie to the star players up front with McDavid and MacKinnon. I mean, these two have been putting on a show with exceptional play. They've shown such excitement for the great moments they've been involved with. They've also shown this level of determination, and you know that both McDavid and MacKinnon, they've dreamt of more than just the conference final. Can't wait to see the defining moments ahead.
We're going to see defining moments right away, Jen. McDavid, MacKinnon lined up against each other to start the series. It's what we all wanted to see. We get it right away.
Perfect, Elliot. You have the Great Divide. Two cities built along the spine of the Rocky Mountains. 4 first overall draft picks here. Franchise players leading the way. You have ex-Maple Leafs and a split in the family tree, the Mansons. 2 Phoenix Coyote goaltenders. You have a West Side Story made for TV. Enjoy.
So much firepower in this series. Jared Bednar's message this morning was our checking game has to be in order every shift. Jay Woodcroft, for his part, saying there are going to be times in this series where the opposing team makes it hard on us. The difference is we are now better equipped to handle it. We talked about showtime. You're going to see a lot of it here throughout potentially 7 games. Elliot mentioned moments ago MacKinnon versus McDavid to start Game 1 here tonight. Here they are getting their hands warm moments ago in warm-ups. 97 and 29. The rest of the cast on both Edmonton and Denver ready to go in this Western Conference Final. Best on best. Best of the West here in Game 1.
Saskatchewan, number 35, Darcy Kuemper. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly remove your caps as we honor both nations represented tonight with the singing of O Canada, followed by the Star-Spangled Banner, as performed this evening by Amanda Hawkins.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed ere the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in their gay proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Are you ready? It's showtime. Game 1 of the most anticipated conference final matchup in years. Oilers and Avalanche in a matchup that evokes memories of the glory years for both these franchises. Here are the starting goaltenders. There is Mike Smith making his first conference final appearance in a decade. And an interesting record against Colorado, 13-1-5 in his career. Darcy Kemper at the other end, his conference final debut, 18 stops in a Game 6 victory against St. Louis. The Kemperer has yet to make over 30 saves in a game of these playoffs. The marquee is full, Craig, and we're not going to dip our toe in the water. Everybody's out to start.
You gotta love a conference final. Your quest for the Stanley Cup that much closer. One of 4 teams left, and you can tell by the intensity and excitement of the players. They can't wait to get this thing going.
McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman out against McKinnon, who intercepts a pass. Might have the first chance, but McDavid there defensively out with Gabe Landeskog and Val Nichushkin. Devon Taves and Cale Makar on the blue line for Colorado, and Draisaitl turns back after that brilliant series against Calgary, in which he had at least 3 points in each of the 5 games. Taves plays it ahead. Nichushkin has been moved up onto this line, and you think that's a sign of what the matchups are going to be?
Well, I think the match will change for sure. We've seen a lot in the last little while for Jay Woodcroft of coming right back with the McDavid line early in games and see if he gets the other coach moving a little bit on his matchup.
So Evander Kane, Kyler Yamamoto out along with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Bo Byron sends it to the line, and the play is offside. Kelly Sutherland, Gord Dwyer, the referees, Brad Kovacic, and Devin Berg on the line.
Yeah, you mentioned last round against the Calgary Flames for the Edmonton Oilers. 26 seconds in Calgary, there was a turnover down low, and all of a sudden they were behind the 8 ball. You see how quickly McDavid turned the puck over, but he went right after McKinnon, made sure he tried to make that up, turn the puck back, and settle in. And the one thing you can't have again, and tempt fate too often, is bad starts on the road against such a good offensive team like the Colorado Avalanche at home.
So Arturi Lehkonen will be on this second line, at least to start game number 1, with Nazem Kadri and Mikko Rantanen. And an icing call against Edmonton will bring the face-off back.
Well, you listen to coach speak at this time of year. They don't tell you a whole lot about their systems or what they're playing. And Jared Bednar said there was 3 games late in the season from March on, and he said those 3 games against the Oilers you can basically throw out. One was 4 games in 6 nights. Wasn't really indicative of the way the teams are, and it's such a difference when you get to this level, Chris. In the 3rd round, your team has changed so much through rounds 1 and 2. Because each side really focused on their own game as opposed to their opponents.
Oilers won the first meeting 6-3, and then Colorado prevailed 2-1 in a shootout and 3-2 in an overtime game. Byron keeps it in at the line. There's Rantanen. Just the 1 goal for Mikko Rantanen. Back an empty netter, so Colorado fans still waiting for him to put his signature on these playoffs. Rantanen with it behind the net, tried to center, hit the back of the net, and Duncan Keith will flip it ahead. There's Evander Kane, who had a hat trick against Colorado in that 6-3 win. Bouchard tried to send it in, and now it's fired in behind Darcy Kuemper.
I think that hit Nugent Hopkins right in the chin, Chris, as Bouchard was just trying to dump it in. It slide right up and got number 93.
Brett Kulak got tied up in front of the Colorado bench. Here's Warren Foegele now. Striding out to center ice for the Oilers, trying to flip it in. Foegele knocked down, following up, it's McLeod, and there's Kuemper's first stop.
Well, what a way to start for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Couple of huge goals in the Calgary series, and you know this is going to be a matchup you'll see a lot of. Kadri against Nugent-Hopkins, and there's the Bouchard slapping it in. Just a broken play here. You can see the puck pops loose, and good early save by Kuemper. Kelly talked about the goaltenders, how important it is here to just settle back into your game, calm down, don't get too overexcited in analyzing the start to this one.
So a face-off to the right to Kuemper, won by the Oilers, and that shot rings off the post for Kulak. Here's Foegele from long range. Brett Kulak nearly had the kick-starter early, still looking for his first ever Stanley Cup playoff goal. Andre Burakovsky after it, knocked away from him, and Kulak will send it ahead. Puljujarvi at center will flip it down into Colorado ice as both teams start to make changes. Here's Jack Johnson, who comes into the lineup in the absence of Sam Girard, injured in the St. Louis series, and that puck hit the round glass at the bench.
So often just a face-off play down the wall here, throwing it with a little bit of traffic. You can see right through the bodies of Johnson and McLeod. A late reaction of Kuemper. That went right over his elbow area and off the post. A tough sign and list for the goaltender to listen to, but no crowd reaction. So an early break there for Kuemper as that one goes off and out.
So the fourth lines come out. Everybody's been into the game now with Archibald, Derek Ryan, and Zach Kassian. And Kassian only played just over 2 minutes, 2:48 actually, in game number 5. And trying to make his presence felt here on the first shift of game 1 of the Western Conference Final. Kassian's got it, trying to cycle it back behind the net. Eric Johnson and Josh Archibald took a run at him. But up comes the game 6 hero for Colorado, Darren Helm, with a shot on Mike Smith. The goal with 5.6 seconds remaining. The second longest, or second from the end of a game in history to win a series. Here's a steal. Hyman out in front. Net almost got knocked down, and Landeskog sends Nichushkin away. Down Nichushkin. Hot shot, that just missed. Ricochets back out to center. McKinnon's on it. And so they're going to go toe-to-toe early, aren't they?
I love that. The coaching friendly where you go fourth line against fourth line, but on the heels of it, it's number 1 against number 1. That's going to be a great matchup if this continues.
And in behind the net, McKinnon lost his footing, and away goes Draisaitl. Onto the right side. McDavid's got a step. McDavid centers in front, and Hyman unable to connect with that. Centered in front, and Landeskog was there. We've got teams shaking up behind the play and slow to get to the Colorado bench.
Oh, what a loss that would be. He just made a great defensive play to maybe save a goal and crashed in hard to the end boards.
Now Evander Kane gathers speed, but stopped up at the line. Has to tag up, and Kadri lost the handle, but it'll be Jack Johnson. Over 1,000 NHL games, sending it down into the Oilers zone. Smith played it high off the glass. Knocked down there by Kadri. Here's Rantanen. Jack Johnson. And he whistles that wide. Kept alive by Josh Manson, who had an overtime goal in Game 1 of the St. Louis series. Arturi Lehkonen back to Manson. In deep, Kulak unable to come up with it. And around it comes for Yamamoto. Flicked ahead, it's a break. Evander Kane's in, scores! Kickstarter for the Oilers in Game 1 of the Western Conference Final.
Well, you looked for some momentum, and you gained it by that 1-against-1. McDavid's line had a great chance at the other end and creating some havoc down below. Hyman does a good job keeping it in front, then it goes back the other way. Now Nugent Hopkins, this one just flip it to an area. Kane finds his way in and right up and over the number 35. One of those shots, it's not about the speed of the shot, it's all about the positioning. Quick little release up and over the elbow. And Kane continues on. 12 goals in the first 12 games, and here to start the Western Conference, he gets the Oilers on the board first.
So Evander Kane now with 6 in his last 4 games, and a Stanley Cup playoff leading 13th. And 5:04, Nugent Hopkins and Yamamoto with the assists. Back comes Burakovsky. Ripped that shot wide, it'll boomerang back into the Colorado zone. Erik Johnson, the longest tenured Colorado Avalanche player, started the breakout. Burakovsky came up with it as Bouchard was checked, and now Alex Newhook's in. 2-on-1 chance, scores! JT Compher has tied it. The goals come 36 seconds apart.
Well, how much did we see this in the Calgary series as well? 4 goals in a minute 11. Here's the response by the Avalanche. Newhook does an excellent job of just fighting through the puck. Compher, who was the hero in Game 6, another quick release shot up and over. Great confidence, great patience by Newhook. The pass between the stick and skates of Kane, and you can see Smith trying to fly across to his left. That's a perfectly placed shot up and over the glove to make it a 1-1 game.
Bottom 6 scoring had been an issue for Colorado until Game 6 in St. Louis, when the bottom 6 provided all the offense. 2 of those goals came off the stick of JT Compher, and he has their first goal here in the Western Conference Final. Newhook and Burakovsky with the assists on the equalizer.
Well, there's a 1 battle in the neutral zone that just created the 2-on-1, and both coaches say that can't happen.
Off and running, here's Logan O'Connor in. Curls back, centers, and a good stick there to break it up by Hyman. Landeskog, the captain, trying to swing away from checking. Centering pass intercepted, and it'll glance off a skate of Hyman. Down the ice, they're going to call that icing. Looks like Hyman got to the hash marks first.
Download the app and see for yourself why Bet365 is the world's favorite sportsbook.
Canada's home for black music is The Block, hosted by Angeline Tedoeo. Tune in weeknights at 7 on CBC Music or anytime on CBC Listen. Oh, we're off and running.
Yeah, just as expected. Not necessarily everyone who you expected to put the goals in first, but for Compher, I mean, he scores those 2 goals. Those were his first in 11 games, but to go back-to-back, he's brought this building back to life after the early Kane goal.
Speed limits have been raised for this series, and the burners out again. McDavid and McKinnon. Draisaitl trying to connect there with McDavid, and Darnell Nurse will get things organized. Draisaitl flicks it. McDavid with McKinnon all over him. Couldn't get loose. And Nichushkin turns back. And offside the call at the Edmonton line. Well, what a start. The goals come 36 seconds apart. Evander Kane and JT Compher.
The first time Crosby and Ovechkin met in the playoffs in 2009, 2 of the best in the prime of their careers. Crosby says you don't get to the level of McDavid and McKinnon by worrying about what your opponents are doing, but he did add he wouldn't be surprised if one guy makes some magic happen, the other will want to immediately respond. Crosby said, I don't see either backing down. They are big moment players, but it's Kane and Comfort that have made their marks early in game one, Chris.
These guys haven't had much to say about the matchup, even though everybody else wants to talk about it. They'll do their talking on the ice.
You know, it's less about the individual matchup, but what's blatantly clear is just the focus on the team goals, and that they all feel that they've come to a level where they're ready to take that next step. They've both taken the step to get to this far, and they know that's not good enough.
Here comes Bo Byram in. The former Vancouver Giant testing Mike Smith.
Well, if I'm Jay Woodcroft, that's a couple now where an odd man rush tied this game up. And this is one where not a lot of speed through the neutral zone, but the D is backed up so far. This is Byram just jumping in as the defenseman. That middle zone rush takes one man through as CC goes to Rantanen. Now Nurse is just reaching a little too far. That was way too easy an entry, way too easy a lane to the front of the net. And Mike Smith had to make sure he got a hold of that one and didn't allow a rebound for any of the bodies in front.
Derek Ryan to take the draw against Newhook, and the Oilers prevail. Flipped ahead by Fogle. McLeod trying to skeet onto that and comes up with a puck and feeds back to the line. Bouchard shot knocked down. Warren Fogle trying to come to the net there, cut off at the end, and Newhook played it along the board. Bouchard plays it in behind, and Fogle fanned on a centering pass. Oilers get it back, and there's the big Bouchard bomb that ends up, did it go onto the netting? Burakovsky called for it.
Burakovsky sure thought it did.
They're going to play on, and both teams start to make changes. Here's Cale Makar. Played by Taves, so he's back out. Looks like he's okay after going to the Avalanche bench early in distress. Makar, who had 10 points in the first round against Nashville, starts the breakout. Over the line it goes to O'Connor, and that'll stick to Mike Smith.
When you talk about mental capacity and what you have to do to just eliminate any negative thoughts, you go back to game one last series. 3 goals on 10 shots in 6:05, and Mike Smith was sitting on the bench. And you can't help but think, oh no, okay, this Battle of Alberta that everyone couldn't wait for. Well, he took that time, he reset, and one thing he's really been able to do well is put it all behind him and focus on the future. Now all of a sudden, 4 straight wins later, here they are.
After game one, a save percentage of .922 for Smith. 19 playoff wins, trying to even his playoff record at 20-20. In front, it's towards the net, and a good stop by Smith there as Landeskog with a power move.
Well, there's another play that, again, the Avalanche winning those little one-on-one puck battles. And you know that Darnell Nurse been fighting a little bit of injuries, a little slow to react there. And there's a quick move by Landeskog, and you're just expecting that one to maybe hit a leg or hit a body, and you could see Smith's reaction. Once he saw the rebound there, catapulted out, make sure he got a hold of it, get the change.
Banked off the boards and skitters just to the goal line for an icing call against Edmonton.
Yeah, that's why when you eliminate Calgary in 5 games, it gives you a couple of days. You know you got guys who have injuries, and lots has been made of Draisaitl and his leg, but Nurse as well. You know, not playing the 25, 26 minutes you've been accustomed to, and you just got to gut it out, and you know you're going to have to battle through that type of pain. And you know on the other side, the guys are going to work hard to try to take advantage of it, Chris.
In our last break, Leon Draisaitl had a conversation with the officials, and you sensed what that was about?
Yeah, I think that one play where McKinnon was in the hip pocket of McDavid, just pointing that out and trying to get an early call to maybe settle that kind of coverage down.
Landeskog draped on Nurse. McDavid and McKinnon doing battle again. Abs on it. McKinnon will cycle it back down low, and here's Landeskog. There's a pick by Nichushkin. Landeskog lost his footing. Nichushkin gets it back. And at the line, McKinnon bounced it wide. Big Nichushkin on it again, knocked off the puck, and McDavid can't get by McKinnon the first time, and now collides with Taves. A lot of roadblocks there for 97 to navigate. At center ice, down went McCarr. Kadri's in. No calls, and the fans looking for one on that last sequence.
Well, which official's going to jump first and put their arm up? Here's one that the crowd wanted to call, but there was no reason to. Landeskog just trying to take it and eat toe picks down on what could have been a good chance. Here's what you expect to see, just close quarters in every single zone. And there's an excellent play by Devon Taves, just not allowing any open ice. You know, they watched all the tape of last round and how much open ice McDavid was able to take advantage of here early on. It's pretty close-knit coverage in all three zones.
One hit for the Oilers so far in the face-off circle. Rantanen on this face-off against Nugent Hopkins. Yamamoto plays it inside the line, and Kadri back. What a great season for Nazem Kadri with 87 points.
Download the app and see for yourself why Bet365 is the world's favorite sportsbook.
Not every battle is always an offensive one, Chris. Early, often there's the chess match defensively, and that's kind of been interesting the first few shifts between 29 and 97, hasn't it?
They've kind of stopped each other from getting up to top speed. Yamamoto ahead, rolls it out. And the Avalanche have been physical here in the opening 10 minutes and change. Byram turns back away from Kane. One of the many smooth skating Colorado defensemen. Over the line it goes, and Burakovsky twists and turns. Got it back to Byram. Tracked there by Nugent Hopkins. Into the corner for Newhook. Alex Newhook didn't play game 6, but back in for the opener of this series, and another Smith stop from long range. The Sticks get up after that whistle. Well, you know they'd be targeting number 97, and he hasn't got loose yet.
Final. Mike Smith was his backup. Now Smith, at 40 years old, finds himself in a similar spot. He said there were some experiences then that stuck with him since. No surprise, the biggest thing is rest. Always trying to set yourself up to have as much energy as possible when put in tough spots come game time. Chris?
Speaking of old goalies, there's Ken Holland.
Yeah. Boy, talk about under the pressure at different times during this year about his goaltending situation. And Smith has really come to the rescue down the end of the season and here throughout these playoffs.
2012 in the Western Conference Final for Arizona against Los Angeles. What a playoff run he had that year. His goaltending against Chicago is good as anybody's ever provided in postseason play. Josh Manson to work. Dad on the Oiler bench. Turned over at center, and Puljujarvi trying to work his way back in. Around for Foegele on the far side. He is leveled. Big hit there by Manson. Puljujarvi in behind the net and watched by Copper. Hung in there to center it. A couple whacks at it by Foegele, who sends it wide of the net.
There's one way of stopping the offensive zone cycle, and that's exactly why Joe Sakic brought Josh Manson in there. Very much like his father, not afraid to finish his check to make a strong play to turn it back the other way.
Now the Oilers had their fourth line out, and McKinnon's line comes out, so changing quickly here as Landeskog worked his way in. Good stick there by Cody Ceci, breaking up an attack, and Draisaitl's got it. His pass broken up by Landeskog and flipped down into Oiler ice. There's Big Nichushkin back after it. Devon Toews along the boards. McDavid couldn't come up with that. And now it's Landeskog behind the net, watched by Nurse. Another shift here in the Edmonton zone in the matchup of the big lines. Centered, McKinnon, and Smith with a big stop. Just got a piece. And Gabe Landeskog is not one of the absolute headliners, but a guy that could be a huge difference maker in this series. Now Kadri's in deep, trying to go up top. Smith is stopped, but he's right back on the goal line to keep that one out.
You know, as it often does, sometimes it's not a goal that gets the crowd to their feet or gets some energy. It was a hit here, stopping the cycle. The crowd reacted a bit. You mentioned 4th on 4th for 3 straight until Jared Bednar puts the top line out there. There's just a quick little reaction shot. And then Kadri from in tight, not only the first chance, but the second for Rantanen was right there on the doorstep. And you could see how Mike Smith making sure he squeezed hard. Wasn't exactly sure where it was, but he knew he had a piece of it.
Face-off win, and it comes back to Erik Johnson for the Avalanche. Played it to the near corner, and Bo Byron will move up. Oilers with only 2 shots on goal here, with under 7 minutes remaining in the first period. Evander Kane along the boards, trying to work it loose. And that puck comes out to center, and the Avalanche will flip it back in off the stick of Byram. Rantanen let it go, and now to the attack. Here comes Cogliano, the former Oiler. First 4 years of his career with Edmonton. It'll come back to the line, kept in, and that shot is blocked as it hit Nugent Hopkins. Darren Helm tied up, and a scrum in behind the Edmonton net that comes loose for Cogliano. Back to the line, Jack Johnson, and a tip there by Helm in front. Helm, who sent the Detroit Red Wings to a Stanley Cup final with an overtime goal, and had that big goal against St. Louis to get Colorado to this Western Conference final. And the fourth line's got the fans energized here as Josh Manson sends it across. Jack Johnson shooting, and that's off Smith. Picked up by Newhook. And bumped there and tied up by Nugent Hopkins. And again, the officials let them play on, much to the disappointment of the fans here. Good stick by Compher to hold his own. Oilers were changing. Newhook racing in, and Britt Kulak on him. Now played back to the line for Makar and Byram. Byram holds, finds Burakovsky, Makar, and another good save for Mike Smith. And that was Erik Johnson with the chance.
Well, the deep pairing had 2 minutes in their own zone. They're trying to get through this shift, and then in comes Johnson. Great save by Smith to settle things down. Good communication with his players, letting them know exactly what he expects of them. Another has been good 5-on-5 play. Well, there was a long stretch where the Avalanche, as you can often expect, on the road against a good, confident offensive team, there's one team that's chasing, and right there it's the Oilers unable to make that play to stop the cycle and the puck possession game. And a couple of big saves for Mike Smith. These are the little stretches you know you're going to go through early in a game. This is the most intriguing one coming up, as again the McDavid line has not been able to get any offensive zone presence yet to this point.
Oilers trying to weather a storm. McDavid, Draisaitl come back out. Neither with the shot or attempt so far. Zach Hyman playing with them. Has had a couple of shot attempts, but unable to hit the target yet. The Oilers have been credited with 3. Here's McKinnon dashing in. Scores! A marquee goal, and it's 2-1 Colorado as Nathan McKinnon on the board.
And it's all about speed. There's no puck pressure here on Devon Toews. He's able to skate half a zone by himself. himself. I mentioned the mismatch. Darnell Nurse not able to keep up to the speed of MacKinnon. MacKinnon without the puck is more dangerous. Hops to an area. A late poke check by Smith. Anticipation by MacKinnon. Watch him look up quickly. He feels it coming. That's just an easy little chip by the stick. And Nurse knows you're not standing still. Going to win that battle with him coming full bore. But the play was made in the offensive zone. There's no pressure there on Devon Toews, and he skates in, makes the outlet pass, and this place came unglued. Watch the middle of the ice. It just opens up. McDavid actually has nobody there, not stopping anybody, not in a passing lane, and an easy play there for Devon Toews, and no chance at all that Nurse is going to win that foot battle.
9th of the playoffs for MacKinnon, who has points in 9 of the 11 games that the Avalanche have played in the postseason. So now it's McDavid's turn to answer. Out with Draisaitl as it cycled back along the boards and picked off there, and out comes Manson over the line. He'll turn back with a change underway. Evan Bouchard just flipped it away at center.
Look at Bednar, too, coming right back with the MacKinnon line as he gave him a quick little break, puts him right back out.
And back in comes MacKinnon. Put on the brakes. Quick change of direction. Bouchard knocked down. Here's Landeskog, and Smith stopped that. It would have been a 2-on-1, but Nichushkin lost his stick as it got tied up with Bouchard.
Yeah, he was trying to get a call, wasn't he, as he's battling with Bouchard. The turnover right there, and then down goes Bouchard with the stick with him, and that was a fortunate play there as Landeskog looked up and thought maybe he could make a play. Instead, the easy shot, and just lived to fight another shift.
In the last series for Colorado, MacKinnon hit the 80-point mark, the 4th fastest to 80 points in Stanley Cup playoff history. Only Gretzky, Lemieux, and Curry quicker to 80 points than MacKinnon. Here's Kadri. He's got Rantanen with him. Mikko Rantanen, and Smith got a piece of that. Kadri tried to cycle that down low, and Brett Kulak will take over. There's an interception, and Makar just missed as he walked in.
There's another example of neutral zone, a little bit of trouble. A pinch in the neutral zone creates an odd man rush, and then pressure down low creates a turnover.
There's Cogliano putting it in front. That'll roll back to the best Oilers so far, Mike Smith.
And again, Jay Woodcroft talking to his defense now. You know you're going to get pressured. Here's a play, neutral zone. You can't get caught in there. That creates a little bit of havoc. Nugent Hopkins goes down. Smith with a nice save to settle his team down. But this is the anticipated pressure that you're seeing now, and you got to try to slow that down by supporting each other. Good close puck support and win some of those battles along the boards.
Well, Jay Woodcroft talked this morning about it being a different style series than Calgary, which was different than Los Angeles, and this game's being played at a different speed, isn't it? Here they come again. That shot knocked down, the rebound, and Helm tried to get it to the net, knocked to the line, but kept in. Darnell Nurse, Cogliano takes a run at him. Cassian unable to move it, and Helm goes after it. Played to the line and past Johnson and out. Now Archibald for Derek Ryan, and the play's offside at the Colorado line. Well, they're siblings, best friends, and navigating the dating world in their 40s. Catch hiccups and hookups streaming free on CBC Gem.
You know, every series it takes a little while to understand. You can watch video of an opponent, but until you see it, until you see the speed of the player coming at you, look at Joe Sakic looking on here as his team's getting off to a good start. And, you know, that's the real defining factor that now gets you into a new series. It's only game one, period number one. You got to get accustomed. You've got to change your mindset from your last series when you were so used to battling a certain individual or a certain style each and every shift. It changes dramatically.
There's a turnover, maybe a chance, and Fogle shot blocked there by Eric Johnson. McLeod centering it again, and they'll come back to Evan Bouchard, and that shot through traffic, stopped by Kemper.
Chris, you mentioned Kemper. The most saves he's had in a game is 28. The most shots, 31 in this playoff. So he hasn't really been tested all that much. And you know that as you start to chip away, that's shot number 4 for the Edmonton Oilers in this period. As they move along here, they got to be able to focus, get a body in front, try to take away his eyes, and look for some of those second and third chance rebound plays in his crease.
On the draw, the Oilers control. Duncan Keith sends it to the net. That hit Kipper in the mask. Loose for Hyman. Another whack. And Kipper makes 2 big stops with Hyman on the doorstep. Now McDavid trying to charge back in, slowed up by Landeskog. Devon Taves off Landeskog and into Edmonton ice. Smith fires it around. It'll be kept in there by Makar. Centered it, and that's knocked away by Bouchard, and away goes Draisaitl. Under 2 to go here in this opening period. Oilers have to tag, and they'll start a change.
Chris, the best chance was just that, a shot from the point with traffic in front. I thought the last second, Zach Hyman just didn't know exactly where the first part of that rebound was there, and the delayed chance to get it the second time allowed Kemper an opportunity to get there. Talk about a great player last series. 5-game goal-scoring streak for Zach Hyman. And right here, see, he lost control, wasn't quite sure where it was, and then Devon Taves just got his foot in the way of the second chance. Came right back, a little kick off the pad of Kemper, and then a little frustration as Zach Hyman's been all around the net these last 5-6 games, and it's paid off in 6 goals.
I was going to say, those all went in the last round. He scored in each of the games against Calgary. 6 goals in 5 games. 80 seconds remain in the opening period. Oilers scored first. 6-0 win, scoring first in these playoffs. But the Avalanche answered 36 seconds later and then took the lead at 15-10. Ceci up for Yamamoto. Manson will swing that back into the Edmonton zone. Icing called into the final minute.
And right away with the late icing and maybe an opportunity to catch some fatigue. Of course, it's the McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman line jump right out, try to get something offensively here to end the period.
So those Avalanche players have been out for just over 40 seconds. So at the late stages of their shift, and now they've got to deal with McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman. Puck dropped unfairly, so they'll do it again.
Now fatigue's not a factor after that much time.
Draisaitl digs in against Kadri, who prevails for Colorado. Puck will come back to the former Avalanche defenseman Tyson Barrie. In for McDavid, tracked by Manson. Back to Barrie. Popular player here in Colorado. Hyman was knocked down, and Byron able to clear. Kulak up ahead, McDavid back in, drops it off for Draisaitl. Here comes Leon Draisaitl, handing it off to 97. And now Kulak in front, scores! Tied up again, and there is Zach Hyman on the doorstep.
I always said the one chance for the second chance he wasn't able to tap in. This one's an even harder play to make, but this is all about just buying open ice when you can. Draisaitl brings 2 guys to him, a little curl back, brings 3 Avalanche out high, and then just off the tape, Manson's got his eyes focused on the puck, but not his stick where it is, and Zach Hyman's stick on the ice gets just past the skate of Josh Manson and just past the outstep foot of Darcy Kemper. The hot streak continues, 6 straight games with a goal for Hyman, and a huge late goal ties this thing at 2 at the end of the first.
9th of the playoffs for Zach Hyman, who had a pair in game 1 against Calgary. That one finished 9-6. Scores! Cale Makar! We might be headed to 9-6 tonight. And that comes 9 seconds after the Oilers had got on the board.
Kyler Yamamoto has his hand in the air like this maybe is an offside. Let's have a look how quick. Oh man, it is awfully quick. But another turnover, another momentum swing. The great players just find a way, and Cale Makar has created so many of these chances. I think you're seeing a challenge come from the Edmonton Oilers
to determine
on
if there's
offside.
offside prior to the goal.
Chris, I was saying it came pretty quickly. Even on the ice, Kyler Yamamoto was having his arm up in the air to his bench, trying to indicate that it looked like it.
Let's have a look.
Oh yeah,
That's
this one's
offside.
coming back. Wow, what a break. What a change and what a crazy game again. As the last time the Oilers scored, the Avalanche came roaring back and tied it up. And
well, the first one 36 seconds later would have been extremely deflating to give up another one after scoring the second goal and getting it back on even terms. Pretty clear cut that this one's offside.
yeah, there's no question of this. And to come back, you do have to have your skate on the ground as well. So I don't think this one should take all that long. What a break it is for the Edmonton Oilers, but maybe a lesson learned here early on with the back-to-back goals. As I said before, it happened in Calgary with 4 goals in 1:11. That's the fastest in NHL playoff history. And here already in game 1, round 3, we've seen it twice.
I'm not sure if they're not seeing what we're seeing because it's taking longer than you might have anticipated.
Puck is over there, and that one doesn't even show Nichushkin's skates that quickly, but I think they have finally come to a decision, and I would expect this one is coming back.
After coach's challenge for offside, it's determined that the play was onside. Therefore, we have a good goal.
Well, that's a bit of a shocker. Let's see, he's got puck control on his stick right through, and then are they saying now he doesn't have control of the puck there? And then when he does touch it, he's over. That's got to be the only explanation I can think of, Chris. Had it on control before he got the blue line. Once it went over the blue line, he did not touch the puck, and that's why it took so long to have a look.
Wow, that's a grayer area than a distinct kicking motion in Game 5, isn't it?
And now the worst of it is you get a penalty. You know, you look at a play like that, it seems cut and dry, and all of a sudden the linesmen were taking so long.
That's
you wonder
shocking.
what it is. We've seen that in other times where it's worked, where a guy pushes, has control, but man, that is almost like the puck is right there. What a break, and what a change of events here to end this first period.
Might not be done. Cassidy fires right on. So it is 3-2 Colorado. One last shot. It deflects to the corner. And we are done one here, and a wild one indeed. Oilers scored 2, but Colorado has quick responses for both, and a 1-goal lead. But Jay Woodcroft would like a word, and there'll be a lot of discussion about that allowed 3rd Colorado goal. So Evander Kane opened the scoring. Cale Makar ends the scoring in the opening period. Our first intervention is coming up.
And as you were saying, Kelly, you followed the Oilers Calgary Battle of Alberta. It's just like 15 goals the first night. Are we en route for more of the same? So, Elliot, you spoke to Situation Room. Let's get to the offside.
Okay, so first of all, in offside reviews, the linesmen have the final call. They're the ones who make the final call down at the ice level. And one of the things that happened here is that they feel Makar pushes the puck into the zone and doesn't get control until Nichushkin exits the zone. And the key here is when you exit the zone, your skates can't be over the line. Like when you enter the zone, your skates can be over top, break the plane. But when you exit, you have to actually touch on the other side. They feel it's a push ahead by Makar. And when he finally touches the puck in the offensive zone, they feel that Nichushkin has gotten back onside, so it's a good goal. Now, because I'm not the expert at the rules, one of the things I did was I texted a couple of NHL video coaches on teams that are out of the playoffs, and I said, what do you guys think? And they backed that call. That they said that if they were advising their coach, if they had all the angles to those replays, they would say that's a good goal. So 2 video coaches texted to say they think this was the right call. I'm betting that there's not 100% agreement online, but I haven't checked my Twitter.
Are you sure about that?
Cabby and Andy, can you confirm what Elliot just said is accurate? I believe it is. Okay, let's move to Nathan MacKinnon. Jennifer.
Well, we saw him in this pregame interview and looking pretty calm and poised and in control, but he was ready to pounce as soon as the puck dropped. And if you look at, we talked a lot about this matchup leading up to this series. First 10 seconds makes a great read in the offensive zone, a nice little dangle showing great control of the puck. Smart play to make it deep. You know, really engaged. He and Nichushkin on the bench there, making sure after their first shift. And this is what we're talking about, slowing down McDavid. MacKinnon picks him up nice and early in the neutral zone and prevents McDavid from gaining speed. Here he battles along the boards and jumps into space. Look, McDavid knows he's there, but MacKinnon just finds that slot. And McDavid you can't even pause for an ounce because that's what's going to happen. This one, he cuts across the neutral zone. Beautiful feed by Devon Toews to hit MacKinnon. You talk about his powerful stride, using those crossovers effectively, just demanding the puck as he slides through that timing, gets inside positioning, great wide base, and the nice finish offensively. I mean, a great period for Colorado. MacKinnon was a big breeze and a big part of that.
And Jennifer, you can tell how they're trying to defend McDavid, right? Be right in his face, pressure him all the time. And so there are many examples. You showed a bunch of them. I'm going to continue with that same theme. So McDavid, whenever he's going to get the puck, especially in his own zone, watch this. That is MacKinnon once again. Then on the same shift, there's Toews stepping up. Now, it's very close to interference. I get that, but still, that is their plan. Here's another one where Landeskog is going to attack and strip him of the puck. But the problem with that is if you're too focused on McDavid, he's going to burn you. Watch this. Now he's going to draw 3 guys from Colorado right to him. Quickly down at Draisaitl, and although Manson, it's not a great play by Manson, that is the way that you can attack that. That's what Craig Simpson said in the broadcast, that Colorado has to be dangerous or wary of that.
First of all, let me just say, like, that period was everything I think we were all hoping for. Like, every fan out there, nobody got cheated for their entertainment value in the first period. One of the things that really stood out to me, in addition to everything you guys just showed, was how quickly Colorado got from one end of the ice to the other. And this is something Edmonton's going to have to fix. Like, on the goal, the MacKinnon goal, one pass, a short skate, and he's in alone. Here's another one around the net, right down the ice, and a glorious opportunity that Smith makes a good save on. Here's another one, long pass from behind the net, another pass, and they're coming in and getting opportunities. I thought this period, for parts of it, Edmonton kind of looked overwhelmed. We've seen them handle that before. Woodcroft has shown he can make the adjustments, but I thought there were a few points in that period where it was just too easy for Colorado to get down the ice.
Started well for the Oilers, didn't it? That first goal by Kane, and just an incredible play by Yamamoto to exit the zone. And just take a look. He's going to get the puck along the near boards. Yamamoto takes one quick look around. Okay, here's what I see. Now my back's to the play, but still able to get it. Nugent Hopkins. Then a beautiful saucer pass by Nugent Hopkins to Kane, and then he goes high glove. But that is high skill from both sides, and it's only going to get better in this series.
You talked about that, the getting the lead, right? That was a huge lead for Edmonton to have 1-0 goal, but then on the next goal that Colorado ties up, Puljujarvi on the back check. You know, you're just thinking you can't let up for a second, and this is another example of it. Well, Puljujarvi, look at the far blue line. You've got to hustle on the back check, and then you're right there with Newhook, and he just stops moving his feet, and then it leads to the 2-on-1 and a goal, and so then the game's tied up. But this is just, you've got to make a commitment at that blue line that you're totally invested and not leave your D and Keith there for the 2-on-1. He was right there, just stop moving his feet.
Any reaction to your...
I'm afraid to look at my phone. I can see there's a few that's a really good call, and there's a few you're an idiot. So
right back where we were.
It's about what we expect.
Okay. Listen, here's the reaction to Evander Kane. This is 13 goals. The record is 19. He just continues to be on a tear. So Edmonton will have to kill to begin the second period. We'll get to Cabby and Andy on Hockey Night in Canada when we come back. Cabby, to you.
Thank you so much, Ron McLean. This is Andy McNeil from VSiN. They say life is a marathon, not a sprint. This game is a sprint, and it's absolutely bonkers. Evander Kane is still on a heater, 13 goals in 13 games. Zach Hyman's got his 6th straight game with a goal. Nathan MacKinnon keeps feeding Instagram with highlight reel goals. Andy, what's the betting update right now, bro?
Well, I did have some notes, but I think we can just throw those out right now because that was a wild first period. The total pregame was set at 7 flat. It's now 9.5, minus 115 on each side. And the Avs, big minus 400 in-game favorites, plus 280 coming back on the other side with the Oilers.
The Tim and Friends social account had a post that said, "Are you not entertained?" And absolutely, we are entertained. Thank you so much, Andy, and back to you, Ron. This is what we wanted.
It's absolutely what we thought, and couldn't have been better. Thank you, Cabby. A couple of things to show you here. Zach Hyman gets his 9th goal of the postseason, and right away, Colorado strikes back. Cale Makar, that's number 4. Chris Cuthbert, Craig Simpson, Kyle Bukauskas. Second period is next.
Sportsnet's This Is Big contest. One fan could win $1 million. Keep watching the Stanley Cup playoffs for game codes and more chances to win instant prizes. Well, Ferris Bueller had the line. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Blink, and you could miss something in this series. Nathan MacKinnon, no surprise, had been pacing things in the early going. Here he was, topping out at 40 kilometers per hour to score that hat-trick goal, a beautiful one in Game 5 of the St. Louis series. Tonight, he doesn't quite hit the same speed, but fast enough to give Edmonton trouble, as it has shown remnants of a track meet here in the first period of Game 1. Avalanche, the 1-goal lead to start period 2. Chris and Craig.
Fast and furious, Kyle, and I think I blinked on that Makar rush and the offside call that will be talked about for a long time. And it results in a go-ahead goal for Jared Bednar's team and a power play to start the second period.
Is Darcy Kemper having a Roberto Luongo moment, or is that he's still not in the nets as of yet for the Colorado Avalanche?
Pavel Francouz is the backup.
He may have to start getting going here. If you're the Edmonton Oilers, you're not really wanting them to have much of an opportunity to delay and take too much time.
Francouz appeared in a couple of games in the first round when Kemper took a stick in the eye and had to leave the series for a time.
You know, it's amazing, those kind of calls that go against you. You think of the Oilers in the last game in Calgary and Coleman's goal, that was a controversial one as well. A kick in that was decided after a long, long deliberation. Well, here, back-to-back games, you have it again. You got a little equipment fix, but you know, this is kind of not something that should be allowed too long when you've had the entire intermission to be ready to go. If that's Connor McDavid who's sitting there, there's no way that the officials are going to stop the game for him, and that's what Jay Woodcroft's going. I don't care if he's your goalie, you got 2 of them.
About 3.5 extra minutes, and now Kemper will make his entrance.
Again, I know goaltenders are unique and it's important, but I think Woodcroft has a point. If that's Nathan MacKinnon, they're not stopping the start of the game for MacKinnon to deal with his skates in the hallway.
That's as prompt as me on an early cab ride to the airport.
All that time to plan for it, but can't get there in time.
So here we go, second period, and a power play for the Avalanche with MacKinnon, Rantanen, Landeskog, Kadri, and Makar. 3 for 13 against St. Louis, 10 for 29. They ripped apart Nashville with the man advantage in round 1. Centering pass. Big stop. Smith. Rebound. Scores. Nazem Kadri. They score with 14 seconds to go in the first, and a power play goal at 32 seconds of the second.
New opponent, new decision making. You know, so often you go behind the puck carrier because he knows he's going to drop it back, and that's what Nugent Hopkins did. But you can't let Cale Makar just walk right in. The confidence for Makar, he makes the play to get the zone entry, 2 little support passes, a battle for a loose puck. Nurse going one way, puck going the other, and on the doorstep is Nazem Kadri to put that one up and over Mike Smith. That all starts on the entry, anticipating that drop back, but Makar took it end-to-end, got it in the zone, and allowed that play to happen.
6 for Kadri, his second on the power play. And it's the first 2-goal lead of the series. Shots in the first period, 16-8. Zach Hyman, who was on the ice, had 3 for Edmonton. And 3 shots for Kadri in the first. And a goal here in the second. Kept in by McDavid. Kadri from Rantanen and Makar. So Cale Makar with a couple of points. Knocked down at center by Erik Johnson, and here comes Rantanen back in for Johnson, and Duncan Keith will take over. Kailer Yamamoto gets it back from Nugent Hopkins. Draped along the boards, and Byram up with it. That's cut off there by Nugent Hopkins. In for Keane, who opened the scoring in this game. Hooks it across the goal mouth. Moving up will be Barry, and a shot right on. Here's Evander Keane across. Yamamoto centering it. And Kadri there defensively. Good response. Shift here by Edmonton. And a centering play here on the backhand. Kemper with a stop off. Yamamoto still alive. And another stop by Kemper. Keane hooks it in front. Here's Kulak. Trying to get it back to Yamamoto and unable to do so. And Kadri's away. Stopped up at center by Yamamoto. Pass comes out to center, and Rantanen will shovel it down. After it goes JT Compher. Compher back to the line. Manson, glove stop for Smith.
Well, that's a good response, offensive zone shift. You know, you get down by a couple, you get bad things happen. Now the next shift comes out and spends a good 35, 40 seconds in the offensive zone. Something we didn't see a lot of from the Oilers, establishing that puck possession game in the offensive zone. That's a way to chip away, try to get yourself one to get back into this game.
From the draw, the Oilers control. CC around for Puljujarvi. Jack Johnson held it in, and now McLeod. Up for Nurse, who leads them in. Warren Fogle with a shot. Blue puck scores. Ryan McLeod gets one back, and it's 4-3.
And exactly what you're looking for is just the entry this time given up too easily by the Avs. And this is a line that's been playing some pretty good hockey, but not able to get any payoff. There's a battle on the boards that won by Puljujarvi. Good job of Nurse pulling up, and now just shoot the puck. Anytime you can get a puck to the net, get some direct traffic in front, this is one that he doesn't handle well. The rebound's on the doorstep, and you can see McLeod, who's been coming on, wins the inside battle, doesn't go by the net, able to reach forward, and you can see Kemper had no idea where that rebound went. It hit him up high, went to his right, and a tap in there from McLeod to quiet this crowd.
McLeod's second of the playoffs. First points in 10 games. Warren Fogle, first point of the playoffs. And Darnell Nurse with the assist.
And you know, it's so important for that line to start to feel connected with the bench and feel connected that you're contributing. I thought in the last series they had some really good games that kept it even, but they weren't able to really get the offensive jump that you need. And here now they've given their team life. and you follow it up now with a fourth line that gets into the offensive zone too. That's what Jay Woodcroft knows you're going to have to establish. And here they've done it a little bit to start the second.
Big boost with a bottom six goal and a face-off win. Ceci fires right on. Rebound gathered by Archibald, overskated it, the Nurse in front, and Ryan unable to find that pass, knocked down, and Ceci back to get it. That'll be picked off by Cogliano, and that shot goes wide. Eric Johnson moves up. We've got a injured Andrew Cogliano going to the bench in distress. Eric Johnson unable to slide that past Ryan. Nurse will try the other side, but not out. Kept alive by Byram. And Byram turning it back, and that hit the stick of Ryan. Cale Makar comes out. He's knocked down. Ceci watching him. And now a centering pass. McKinnon stopped by Smith. Point blank range. What a chance for McKinnon. And now the Oilers are out, and there's a break. It's Zach Kassian. And stopped by Kemper. What a chance for Kassian to get the Oilers even. Third line scoring, and then Kassian with a chance to get the fourth line on the board. Here's Nichushkin back. Val Nichushkin can't get it to the net. Flipped in the air and flipped down by Lehkonen. He takes a hit from Hyman. McKinnon back on it. Nate McKinnon across. Chance here. Scores! Mikko Rantanen. Another fast reply for Colorado.
It's living up to its billing, isn't it? Here's the one really good chance in tight. Smith battles to not allow that one to go 5-hole. Back the other way, Archibald in all alone for Kassian. Tried to hold on to it long enough, but you can see the long leg and foot gets across. And then coming off the bench so often, look at the three white bodies all looking away. McKinnon buys himself some time, and short side, just an absolute rocket. McKinnon with the backhand pass, Rantanen coming off the bench. You had mentioned one goal in his last 10 games, and there is a big one there. So often, Chris, you get lost from the bench. Coverage isn't quite there. The focus is on McKinnon buying himself that open ice. And the payoff is Rantanen in all alone and past Smith.
First time that Mikko Rantanen has beaten a goaltender in these playoffs, an empty net goal. That, the 26th shot, and his first past the goaltender. So each time the Oilers have scored, Colorado's had an answer quickly, and they're threatening again. Kadri trying to stuff it in, ran into Smith, and the mask comes off.
Now there's Kadri literally just forcing McDavid. The only option is to stay with him and push him right into your goaltender. You saw that before in last series. Kadri going after Binnington, trying to get to the loose puck. But here, he takes the lane and he forces McDavid to make that play. If you just step off, he's going to walk another step, and then he ends up getting the mask and knocking him off. You say whether you like it or not, and Duncan Keith's having words with Kadri right now. You know, that's kind of throwback to our style of hockey back in the 80s, that you had a lane to the net, you took it every single time, and you forced the opponent to knock you into the goaltender. You've seen it now a couple of times. A terrible one for Binnington in St. Louis. That one there, Smith able to just absorb and move on.
Face off one, Devon Teaves with a blast that hits traffic in front, flipped over the net. And Keane to the line. Bounces off McKinnon and out. Now Keane in on the forecheck, gets a hit in on Taves. Out comes Landeskog. Sent it in from the opposite side of center, but no icing on the play. Nichushkin played it right on goal. Now it's sent back to the line for Makar. Heavy traffic in front of Smith. Nichushkin and Compher were there. That's played in front, off the stick of Smith. Makar again, and he missed the target. The former Brooks Bandit plays it in behind the net, and 6 minutes into the second. The momentum back with the home side. Here's Alex Newhook. Compher gives it back to Newhook. JT Compher to the line. Makar across for Taves. Taves shot knocked down by Keane. Makar scores! Might be a race to 10.
That's a race to the second goaltender as Koskinen for the second consecutive game one is going to replace Mike Smith here, but this is a minute 41 of defensive zone shift time for this trio that's been out there, and the pairing of Nurse and Keith, and you can see just chasing JT Compher. What a couple of games it's been for him. He's the body in front, looks like it hits him around the hand area, and here comes Koskinen. A reset for Mike Smith after game one of round two proved successful for Jay Woodcroft. I think now his team under some stress, his team not defending all that well. Give your goaltender that break, allow him an opportunity to regroup and rest up.
Avalanche answered the McLeod goal a minute 41 afterwards from Brandon, and a minute 40 after that, Compher with his fourth from Makar and Taves. And 9 goals scored. We haven't reached the halfway mark of the hockey game yet. Race back for that puck. Tyson Barrie jumped up, tried to catch up to that. Now Puljujarvi goes to work in the Colorado zone. Pass back to the line. That shot knocked down in front. McLeod digging for it. Up with it. Fogle centers it. And O'Connor will clear. 7 minutes into a wild second period. Knocked down at the line and kept in. Derek Ryan trying to get loose. Byram plays it back for Manson. Nazem Kadri to the attack. Flipping it past Nurse, who holds him up, and it's going to be a penalty. Interference call, Darnell Nurse with a shoulder check to see if he's the guilty party. Josh Archibald is the man penalized.
He got the call here for impeding Lehkonen from going in, but look to the left of him. There you see the grab by Nurse, and Nurse kind of looked back, thought it was going to be him, and so a start here for Koskinen. Has to deal with the power play of the Avalanche.
Koskinen with a shootout loss against Colorado in the regular season, stopped 33 of 34 in that game. Here's Kadri on the power play. Cale Makar has 4 points already tonight. McKinnon shot wide of the net. So Makar's up to 17 points in these playoffs. And he will recalibrate back in the Colorado zone. First in 7 for Makar. And in they come. Rantanen kicks it back to McKinnon, who likes to play up high. Pass across for Kadri doesn't work, but McKinnon gets it back. Now he'll try and walk the line. Gets it back. Fired that. Blocked by Keith. And away go the Oilers shorthanded. Zach Hyman working against Makar. Trying to flip it across, and that's broken up. And back the other way goes Kadri. Curls against Cody Ceci. Landeskog sweeps him around to the near side for Mikko Rantanen. Taves, Newhook. Kadri will drop it off. Landeskog gets it back. That's knocked down by Ceci. Off the glass, played by Landeskog, a centering play, and Hyman will send that down the ice.
And you know, if you're Edmonton, you just got to focus on killing this off. You think back to the experiences they had last series. They came down from 4 goals twice against Calgary in game 1 to tie it up. They came down from down 2, so heck of a lot of hockey left. Half a game and just stop the bleeding right now and get back thinking the other way.
By the way, that's Pavel Francouz in goal now for Colorado. So not sure about the equipment issues for Kemper or whether it's something else. McLeod taken down. Penalty done. Archibald back. And over the line comes Newhook.
So much happening out there. It's you do the fast one of a new goaltender.
Here's Evander Kane. He's going to test Francouz, but fires it high. Archibald crashing in there against Byram. Kane working Byram over. Comes back for Ceci, and there's Francouz with a touch. Logan O'Connor dumps it in. After it is Cogliano, so he's okay. Centers in front, and Koskinen with a stop in tight against Logan O'Connor.
Well, if you're looking for a surprise every minute, this game's kind of had a bit of everything. Here's the discussion as Kemper comes right to the bench and has a quick conversation. I said jokingly about the Roberto Luongo thing. You never know what your body's feeling like. Here's another 2 players in McDavid and Nurse going to the same man. O'Connor ends up wide open in front, and there's Koskinen's first big save to keep it a 3-goal game.
And Darcy Kemper not on the Colorado bench at the moment. Everything's happening. Oilers control the draw. Ceci out at center. Here's Draisaitl tied up by Makar. Darnell Nurse over the line. Dropped off for Kane. That deflects high off the end glass. Bouncing back for Ceci. Kane behind the net. One of 3 Oilers to score 13 playoff goals in his first 13 games. Mark Messier, Yari Curry have done it. Nurse trying to thread that through. Goes wide. Ceci for Draisaitl. Now McDavid. Here is McDavid in front. Draisaitl stopped by Francouz. Evander Kane moving up on this line. And they put pressure on. Bounced in front. McDavid got it back and hooked the shot on goal. Pass for McDavid intercepted by McKinnon. And Colorado clears, and Pavel Francouz is into it.
Is he ever? And the crowd on their feet. Appreciation. That was a tough sequence and a couple of good second and third chances again, trying to create some rebounds in front of the Avs goal.
Puck at the line, kept alive by Keith. There's JT Compher, back-to-back 2-goal games after going without a goal in 16. Hero in Game 6 against St. Louis, and a pair here so far tonight. Yamamoto along the boards. Bounced off a check, maintained possession at the line, and that stick breaks on Keith. Has to drop the shaft of the stick, and now it's Hyman trying to work his way in front. Hyman sends it to the far side, and Josh Manson will take over. Jack Johnson, pass intercepted by Keith with a new stick. Gets it to Fogle. Here's Warren Fogle taken down. And up with it, Kadri. Has him Kadri over the line, run over there by Fogle. McLeod gathers speed, and he'll head out. Ryan McLeod with a goal in Game 1. Sidesteps a hit from Makar. Rantanen around. Sealing the wall momentarily was Barry, but out comes Colorado. Makar nearly sprung Rantanen, and Koskinen able to cover up on that when it almost slid by him. Fast and furious indeed. Makar already with 4 points. Tried to spring Rantanen again.
And because that came from other side of red line and Koskinen held on, they deemed it that the Edmonton Oilers can't make a change, so Colorado trying to catch a mismatch of players. You got Ryan out there with Cassian and Archibald, so they're in a position at least that they've got the making of their 4th line.
Landeskog on the draw for Colorado. Oilers have won 61%, but lose that face off. Makar to the net. That went wide of the target. Here's Nichushkin. Works it way back to Taves. And now a shot that hit traffic in front. Looked like it went off Ryan. Played to the line and kicked out by Archibald.
Well, you look at the opportunity. That line just knew there's your matchup you want because they can't make a change, and they try desperately to keep the pressure on. Don't allow anything to get past this point. Finally, the Oilers able to do so and get the top line back out there.
Cassian got off, and now Archibald and Ryan in turn. Under 7 minutes left here in the second. Makar up for Taves, and he'll drop it down, and Mikko Koskinen out to play it. Here's Kadri. Rantanen back to Kadri. Koskinen, a nice stop. With Kadri in the slot. And a forward battle won there by Johnson, and Koskinen's going to hold on, and now we will step aside. Nazem Kadri has scored tonight, and he had another terrific chance here. Mikko Koskinen with the answer.
For the first round against Nashville, Kemper takes the stick through the mask in the eye area. Had to leave that game. Pavel Francouz came in, played that one and the next one to close out the series. And then here tonight, Kemper leaves. We're not entirely sure why, but in the meantime, Francouz has stood his ground, Chris.
Well, we've seen all four goaltenders. I believe we saw all four, did we not, in game one of the Battle of Alberta?
We did.
Oilers with a 4-game playoff win streak on the line here tonight. Trailing by 3. After it goes Hyman up against Derek Johnson. Ties up Johnson. Yamamoto arrives, but there's Copper to skate it out.
It's the second shift in a row that Hyman goes back to the Nugent Hopkins line, and
Burakovsky, Eric Johnson, and that fired high.
And Kane goes back up with McDavid and Draisaitl. We've seen that an awful lot, and it's seemed to change the spark, get a little bit of momentum change, get a little different look between the two lines, and Jay Woodcroft trying it again.
And each time he's made those adjustments, he's got the results he's looked for. He likes the chess piece analogy.
Yep.
Moving the pieces around here, and what's a lot faster than any
chess game.
But
exactly. Again, the speed is really evident, isn't it? The turnovers in transition.
And those long passes. Here's Landeskog back in. Knocked to the line and out. Jack Johnson will regroup it. Red line and in, and Koskinen will stop that up. So up to 24 goals combined in games 1 of the last 2 series for Edmonton.
The great taste of Johnsonville pairs perfectly with any moment, like scrambling to make it to their practice on time.
Well, one thing that both these teams have learned throughout a year that has been the year of the comeback. You know, so often this year, 42% of the time there was comeback wins in the National Hockey League. How about the playoffs? And so each and every game, just stay in the moment, as each coach has said. And I'm sure Jared Bednar is saying the exact same thing as Jay Woodcroft, just feeling a little bit more comfortable with the 3-goal lead.
Fogle to Draisaitl. Here's McDavid in, and Taves comes back and makes the play defensively. Duncan Keith in his 148th Stanley Cup playoff game ahead to Draisaitl. Next point for Keith will tie him with Bobby Orr on the all-time playoff point list. Makar will be tracking that down in a hurry the way he's going. Over the line, following up, Kadri again, and that ramped off the stick and out. So we've talked about the speed in this series. Connor McDavid tried to dial it up here, but Devon Toews slowed him down.
Subscribe today, and Chris, the word from the Avalanche, no update as of yet on the status of Darcy Kemper.
It's safe to assume they're not working on equipment in that dressing room.
No, and he's not anywhere near looking down the hallway even. Can't see an outline of a body. And no other goaltender dressed that we can see of anyway.
Out of the net comes Francouz. Eric Johnson chopped at it, but kept in by this fourth line of Edmonton. Ryan, Cassian, and Archibald getting more ice time here tonight than they got in Game 5 in Calgary. Cassian tried to dig it loose, and away goes Logan O'Connor, the former DU product. Across, scores! Andrew Cogliano.
Now the marquee might be on the billboard for this big matchup, but there's been so many great performances by the lower six. Here's Keith, who jumped in. You got both D thinking offense, down by 3, trying to make something happen. And Evan Bouchard just taking away, thinking he's got the pass away, but look at his right there, no active stick, no chance for Koskinen as he gets rolled over by his defenseman. There's great patience there by O'Connor, no panic. And the fourth line strikes again.
Cogliano did not score for the Avalanche in the regular season after coming over, but now has a pair of goals in these playoffs. And up to 7 goals, 3 have come from that bottom 6 as we check back in with Kyle.
Chris just got word from the Colorado Avalanche. It is an upper body injury for Darcy Kemper. At this point, he is doubtful to return in Game 1 here tonight.
Well, that'll be a storyline to be followed.
Well, isn't it? It's amazing, the twists and turns of playoff hockey, isn't it? You think you got your game dialed up here on home ice in Game 1, and then suddenly you're worried about going forward with your top goaltender.
Kulak, and it'll stick to Francouz, who may become a bigger story in this series and a cause for concern for Joe Sakic if the injury to Darcy Kemper is enough to keep him out for any extended period of time. So 7 goals on 30 shots for Colorado, 3 on 20 for the Oilers. McDavid with a face-off win. Draisaitl played it in front, that goes off the ski to Makar and has him on the lip. Kept in by Draisaitl. McDavid's loose. Draisaitl across, and Connor McDavid's got a goal here to make it 7-4. And the Oilers again with at least 4 goals, as they did in each game against Calgary.
Oh man, don't leave your couch. I mean, at any point, the goals come fast, they come furious. And you mentioned Makar. Makar makes the instep block there. Now he's hobbling around, he's looking. That creates the opportunity. Kane does a good job at the line. And how about this pass by Leon Draisaitl? I mean, the patience and calmness to pull that one back, wait till the stick is gone. Everybody's in panic mode as McKinnon trying desperately to help out Makar. And Makar worse for wear with that left foot. Francouz, no chance at all, and just like that, you're back to a 3-goal game.
11 multi-point games for McDavid in 13. 7-4 the score. Here comes Hyman, busting through, tripped up, and the Oilers are going to the power play.
And here's how things change so quickly. Again, a never say die mentality. You always got to believe that you've got a lot of hockey left, and it's right afterwards. This is Hyman doing it all his own, just picking his way through with some speed, and Lehkonen gets the reach into the hands and knocks him down. And you can't allow those top players to get off the bench fast enough, as Draisaitl and McDavid, after scoring that goal, are right back out there with an opportunity to make it a 2-goal game.
McDavid with his 8. Draisaitl and Keane the assists. And now looking to get within 2. Answering the latest Colorado goal 31 seconds later and get another face-off in the Avalanche zone.
You highly contested battles for pucks. You got a lot of complaining on both sides as Devon Toews thought, oh, maybe he was interfered on, but that battle with the importance of getting the face-off and getting the setup brings those kind of battles into play.
Draisaitl's now got a 9-game point streak, won the face-off. Barry, Nugent Hopkins. Draisaitl to set it up. Now McDavid. You could hear the official watch the pick as there was a little subtle interference. Trying to spring McDavid, who's got it again. Curls away from Toews. McDavid for Nugent Hopkins. Regains control of it, kicks it back to the line. Kelly Sutherland barking out instructions in front. Big save for Pavel Francouz. On a nice setup to Hyman in the slot. Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl, that pass swept away by Helm.
Got a little freelance look as just bodies moving around, trying to open up some passing lanes, and when it finally was there, the best shot of the power play, a hard shot by Hyman. Francouz does an excellent job of reading that.
Nugent Hopkins hands it off and gets it back from McDavid. Bouchard out now as the trigger man at the point. Here's McDavid. Gonna take a lap. Gonna center. Nugent Hopkins stopped by Francouz. McDavid's got it again. This time knocked off his stick and forced out. Coffer's got his stick tied up. McDavid skates away from it. Back in they come. Here's Evan Bouchard, and that's blocked by O'Connor. Dozen seconds remaining in the power play. Oilers have come close. Nugent Hopkins again, throws it across. Draisaitl, Bouchard, and another Francouz stop. He's looked sharp. 3 shots on that power play, and 3 good saves by Francouz.
And the crowd reacting to the moments. The old goaltender up there, and Kenny Holland knowing his team, good solid power play. Here's the best chance, and right off the glove of Francouz. That's a Kemper that might go in, as that's a blocker side, not a glove side, and then a hard pass to the middle, a block in front. Everything trying to get away with the shooting lanes. Bouchard, who's got a great one-timer, gets that one in with Hyman on the doorstep, but Francouz able to hold on and not give a rebound chance.
Lehkonen getting instructions on coming out. Tipped in front, and Ryan McLeod had a look. Yamamoto lost his stick. Bouchard fired. Traffic in front. Loose. Francouz down. And he pulls it out. How did that not go in?
Heroes born every minute, isn't it? You just love the fact that coming in cold, getting all kinds of pressure in front. He has no idea where that is, but look at the left leg. McLeod, who's got one tonight, comes in, gets there first before McKinnon, gets enough of that, but the toe stayed strong. The pad was able to make the save, and then down with the blocker to grab the puck and get the whistle.
Won Game 4 in Nashville. Came in Game 3 in relief. And a guy that they were not fully confident in when they went out and looked for another goaltender and came up with Darcy Kemper, but Pavel Francouz has looked terrific here in relief tonight. Final 20 seconds of another wild period. Duncan Keith ahead. Bouchard from long range. Around it comes for Landeskog. Up ahead, McKinnon's in flight. Nathan McKinnon, and Koskinen kicked out the right toe and stopped that. And the horn brings another fast break period to a close. 6 goals in the period, and a number of big stops as well. And all 4 goaltenders involved. Game 1 of the Western Conference Final through 2. It's 7-4. We're headed to our second intermission with Ron MacLean.
6 skaters have a point. Inside the Game is brought to you by the GMC Terrain AT4 and Elevation with Jennifer, Kelly, and Elliot. Let me move over to this vid wall here and just try and explain this offside one final time. If I am standing here and I'm Colorado and I've got a man trapped, I know maybe my safest play is to dump the puck in. And you do that all the time. It's a delayed offside. The only way the whistle blows is if I touch the puck before this guy clears. If I give it to a defender and then I make a play on that guy while this guy's in here, or I put it on net and it's going in, they'll blow it down there. So this is just a delayed offside. The difference between, you say, yeah, well, possession and control, you can back into the zone with the puck, possession and control, but that's totally different from chipping it in on a delayed offside. And that's what this was. So when Makar moved the puck in, there's no whistle until he actually contacts the puck. His feet come across the blue line and he contacts the puck in the attacking zone. That didn't happen. His man cleared before Cale's feet. Now let's show you, and you'll see vivid as day is long. The puck flips into the zone off his heel of his stick. This becomes a delayed offside. Now the whistle will not blow until Cale, his feet cross the line, and he touches the puck in the attacking zone. All the while this is happening, it's off his stick. Now his man clears. Now he comes in and he touches the puck. No problem. And we have one other angle just to prove it to you that the puck was off his stick. There you go. And then his man clears, he gains the zone with his skates. Position of the skates is so important. So it's a good goal, or it's a good play, I should say. And we have one other example, Elliot.
Well, first of all, just to say Ron's DMs are not open, so continue sending your friendly commentary to me along with anatomically impossible requests. Okay, so let's take a look at a goal from last year. This is Arizona, LA. It was a goal by Michael Bunting for the Coyotes against the Kings. And we'll watch on the replay. They get possession, they go around, and they eventually do score, and the Kings challenge it. And Todd McClellan is really unhappy with the result. But here it is. The puck is touched on one side before, I think that's Connor Garland, gets out. And then it's brought over and touched on the other, and they called this a good goal. So this is an example, and one of the things that a couple of video coaches did say to me was, if you haven't seen this before, and it hasn't happened to you, you can get trapped on it. But the fascinating thing to me, guys, is I had a number of players who reached out and said they would never have thought that was a good goal. And they are shocked that that was a good goal, but I've had video coaches reach out and say, I totally understand that.
Now, do you think Makar knew what was happening, or was that just pure luck?
I think it's
sure it would have to, right? You never know. He's a special player, right?
But I feel like for him, he's in control, but knowing, it's just a simple wrist movement, right? It's a difference, though. It's not about him being in control of the puck, because for me, I believe absolutely he was in control of that play, even though it wasn't on his stick. But in both the examples, him and the Bunting one, it's just a simple lift of the stick while the puck is entering.
Right.
And then, as you
Till
mentioned,
he touches it actually in the zone, feet across the line.
Simple lesson for all players, right?
Right.
I would show all my players that play now, moving forward.
We can solve that one, and it's a great call. We don't know what's going on with Darcy Kemper, but why don't you take us through that?
Yeah, we don't know. So he left midway through the second period, but the second period started oddly for the Avalanche and Kemper. This was a 3.5-minute delay, which is unusually long. Now, it appears that there's work on his pad. Speculating, of course. Their Oilers are not happy, speed it along, and that is what normally happens. You're given a little bit of grace period. He comes back in, but in that second period, he did take a couple of high shots. Now, it doesn't appear to me as though he's flinching or moving awkwardly after these. But we do know that in Game 3, and they showed it in the game versus Nashville, there he is with Jared Bednar. And Bednar, of course, has get out of here. Watch the stick get caught in his mask. Now, he did leave and did not return for the rest of that series. We certainly don't know, but if we're being told it's an upper body injury, anything could be related.
And you also noticed, right, that he took a few high shots, like whether that's related to affecting the eye injury. It's all speculation.
Right.
We don't know, but he did take a couple of high shots.
Could be struggling to track those high shots. He might have said to Jared, I'm not seeing the puck properly. Do you want to jump in on that, or
no?
move on to Jennifer?
As we all expected, it's Francouz and Koskinen in game number 1, right?
Well, do you want to touch on Mike Smith though? Just
sure. Game 1, Mike Smith has had nightmares in game 1s in all series, but I think this one is different. The first goal he kind of lost, he flopped a little bit, but I thought after that he was okay. I don't think that a lot of these goals were his fault. I think Colorado just totally overwhelmed Edmonton, and this to me wasn't the same as some of those other games in rounds 1 and 2.
Right. Some of the rough goals against Smith has led Colorado to be in control. And if you look at that second period, at one point they're up 6-3 and supporting each other so well with numbers. So these are just some examples. When they know they're going to create a turnover, this on the power play, got 4 players there, and then 5, they're all within a small space. Then they get the entry. So when they get the puck, people are either flying the zone, making the read, but supporting each other with numbers. If they're down low, they know that they can apply pressure. You're going to look, 3 guys swinging towards the puck, 1 high, 1 in the middle, 1 towards the blue line. So knowing you've always got passing options, and it leads to offensive chances. You make the read if you need to get the puck deep, or they're getting odd man rushes, making the look. I mean, Elliot, you talked about them entering the zone quickly. They just miss on this chance, but for them, that's making the read. And then you're going to end up with chances like this, 4-on-2 opportunity for them, but just people moving together to create those chances.
Is this game over?
No, not at all. No. I would not leave the room and think this game is over.
Last save wins.
Ryan McLeod, don't have a chance, Ryan, to show your pack, but sensational period by young Ryan McLeod in this game for the Edmonton Oilers. What a wild and crazy game of poker this is. Avs 7, Oilers 4 on Hockey Night in Canada.
Victor.
Welcome back. Tomorrow evening, the New York Rangers have home ice advantage. Imagine that against the 2-time Stanley Cup champions. Hockey Central, 7:30 ET, 4:30 Pacific here on Hockey Night in Canada. So Justus Annunen is the third goaler. If, in fact, Francouz couldn't continue, Justus would be the netminder, the 22-year-old Finn. Crazy times in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Our coverage on Hockey Night in Canada returns in a moment.
11 goals through 2 periods tonight, 7 by Colorado. The Avs haven't had much trouble getting up to speed so far here tonight, Craig.
Yeah, the neutral zone has really been a problem for the Edmonton Oilers and been taken advantage of by the Avalanche. Any turnover, transition, the 2-on-1 odd man rush. This got the Colorado Avalanche started in their goal scoring through the middle with speed to McKinnon, catching Darnell Nurse flat-footed. On the power play, thinking of a drop back, not with Cale Makar. He easily walks in, 2 support passes later. The power play is 1 for 2 in this game in a real factor. You always come into a series and saying, what's going to be the adjustments you have to make? Chris, early on, Jay Woodcroft won't be happy with the puck management of his team and how at times they've been backing off the line and allowing a lot of easy entries by this Avs offense.
Just about any team they face, the Oilers, you'd think, would have a speed advantage, but this is a different opponent. 11 goals so far, highest game 1 goal total, 13. The Oilers with an 11-2 win over Chicago back in '85. Highest scoring ever Western Conference final, 10-5. An Oiler win over Chicago. Nico Koskinen out. Both teams make changes. And Duncan Keith leads the Oilers out. Draisaitl on the move. Takes the pass. Ducks past Byram. In. Shot. Rebounded. Keane took a whack at it. But Francouz has been stout in relief so far.
And that was just all individual effort off of a tough pass to take. As a good job of Draisaitl working it to the outside, trying to keep his legs moving as Byram's trying to get his stick in there to knock it in. That's what Draisaitl does as well as anyone in the league. He has those little quick hands, able to protect it to the outside, even though he looks like he's not got all that much speed going through there. That big body's able to get inside and somehow find a track to the net.
So McLeod comes out along with Puljujarvi and Fogel. JT Compher, the 2-goal man, wins the draw for the Avalanche. Eric Johnson up ahead, Compher red line and in, and that'll bounce off Koskinen into the corner. Compher lost his footing in a battle with Nurse, and Fogel sends it back into the Colorado zone. Byram, and man, whenever Byram takes a step or two, you think it's Cale Makar Jr. Smooth skating young defenseman. Can 3 comedians create a legit sci-fi show? Check out the new CBC podcast, Let's Make a Sci-Fi, on CBC Listen or wherever you get your podcasts.
You think of this back end with the mobility of Byram and him being healthy, Makar at an elite level this year, and that's why the injury to Samuel Girard was such a big loss as well. Another really good puck carrier, a guy who can create offense, make that good outlet pass, and fans wishing him well as he seemingly has done for the playoffs.
Face-off controlled by Colorado and played to center. Draisaitl back in for McDavid. 2 more points for Connor McDavid, leading the Stanley Cup playoffs with 21. Byram pushes it out to center.
2 more points, but not a game where I think McDavid would be feeling all that great about how the game's gone. Here's a period to try to turn that crank and get things going as this goes along.
Here's Nichushkin dashing in, and Koskinen stops that. And the rebound cleared by Kulak.
I think early on you'll see a lot of the McDavid line just to try to do that for Jay Woodcroft, knowing how crazy these games are.
Here's McKinnon to the net. Landeskog trying to get it back. Draisaitl across for Tyson Barrie. And here's Zach Hyman trying to turn on Makar. In behind the net. Hyman will play it to the point. And it's given away. Mikko Rantanen back. Koskinen the stop. And able to keep it in front of him. Well, they've been wondering about getting Rantanen up to top speed. He looks like he's getting there. And he's back into the Oilers zone, knocked off the puck, but Kadri gets it back. And Josh Manson will retreat. Off the boards ahead to Lehkonen. Arturi Lehkonen, who scored 6 times for Colorado. Kadri in, and flipped the backhand high. Burakovsky's out now. Lehkonen 6 goals after the trade from Montreal in the regular season. Has been playing with Landeskog and McKinnon. It's one of the adjustments Jared Bednar's made for this game. Johnson up, not out. Bouchard across. Duncan Keith that hit a leg. Derek Ryan on it. Trying to sweep it to Kassian behind the net. Kassian had a chance. And now Ryan looks for a rebound. Back behind the net for Kassian. Working his way. Back up top for Bouchard and Keith. Here's Evan Bouchard. That cuts down Burakovsky. Bouchard will walk in. Off a skate wide. Burakovsky's in difficulty. Scores. Derek Ryan at 3:28 of the third. And now it's 7-5.
Well, you think of the last 2 goals the Oilers have scored. You've seen block shots that have affected. It was Makar on the McDavid goal, and here for Burakovsky just turning around, and he's in some trouble. Credit the Oilers. They keep it alive. A couple of bounces down low that looked like the Avalanche were going to be able to clear, and a little turnaround pass by Kassian gets a break off the skate of Manson, and right on the doorstep, Ryan, to his credit, makes sure he gets that one up and over the blocker. Burakovsky can't get up, he can't get involved in the play, and he's getting helped back down to the Avalanche dressing room.
So Ryan with his first of the playoffs. First point in 9 games, but gets the Oilers within 2, and there's the supporting staff chipping in.
And that on both sides, hasn't it? The bottom 6 on both teams been really productive and able to have an impact in this one.
And Jay Woodcroft sends the third line out to try and get another, but outstrides Darren Helm. He'll send it in off Koskinen. Got his own rebound, the former Red Wing. The only former Red Wing that anybody in Colorado probably would cheer for. part of the intense rivalry between those two. McLeod just got out of the way of a hit there. Landeskog had him lined up. Well, we can assume there'll be more scoring, and now the next goal becomes even more important, doesn't it? McKinnon can't barge through. And Tyler Yamamoto starts back. Got Darnell Nurse jumping up. Here's Nurse's shot, and that goes off Makar and out.
Right, and often it's who gets the goal that really can ignite your bench even more. You know, an unsuspecting player, good hard work, great teammate, is that can spur you on even more than just a regular goal. Here's the turnaround, though, as Josh Manson felt it, knew he was in trouble after it went off his right skate, and now you wonder, the bodies pile up pretty quickly, don't they? The shot blocks in the playoffs, well documented on both sides, and there's one that stung and one that gave Ryan the opportunity to make this a 2-goal game.
Leon Draisaitl on this drop has extended his assist streak to 9 games. That's tied for the longest in Oiler history. Comes back for CC. He'll send it deep, and McDavid's got it. Tracked by Makar. McDavid looked to get it to Nurse, gets it back himself. Deflected wide off the stick of Keane. Now McKinnon to work. Drops it off. Here's Nichushkin, and that goes off CC, and he shakes out the bee sting on that skate. At the line, a shot through. Nichushkin comes up with the rebound. Back to Taves. Come on, Taves, and that goes off McKinnon in front. Tried to feed it back to Makar, and it's off Draisaitl and back into the Colorado zone. Trying to disrupt the breakout of Makar, and does. Kept in by Bouchard. Draisaitl unable to one-time a pass across, and it gets past Bouchard and out. Keith ahead, and Nugent Hopkins gives it back to him, and now Bouchard's got space. At center, on to the left side, Hyman off a skate, and Byram takes over. Nugent Hopkins and Byram end up in a heap, and here comes Lehkonen into the slot, twisting his wrist, and not able to control that. Up ahead it goes for Hyman. Zach Hyman to the line, and offside called as Yamamoto followed up. So we played 6:05 of the third. Derek Ryan gets the Oilers within 2.
McDavid and McKinnon, the names with the biggest fonts on the marquee entering this one here tonight. Both have found the score sheet here in game 1. McKinnon making it 2-1, and we've wondered if the 7-4 goal by McDavid would have much of an impact, but suddenly it looms a little bit larger with the deficit for Edmonton now 2.
The big boys on the board tonight, and in fact, 24 players with points here tonight. 13 Oilers have hit the score sheet after that 4th line goal from Ryan, with assist to Cassian and Archibald. Chipped in off Cogliano, who has scored tonight. Or should I just list people that haven't scored?
Yeah, the few that haven't been able to get on the score sheet. Still 14 minutes left almost.
Tyson Barrie. Up ahead it goes, and over the line, Kulak for Puljujarvi. Byron takes a look. Fogle was coming in on him, and now it's a board battle. Fogle has it slide by him, and Eric Johnson up ahead at center. Another stretch pass that nearly springs O'Connor. Quite as confident when Mikko Koskinen is doing Mike Smith things.
Not quite.
There goes Mikko Rantanen. He has scored his 20th career playoff goal tonight. Following up, it's Burakovsky. Rantanen taking an extra turn here in what would have been Burakovsky's spot. And Rantanen comes up with it. Tried to play back for Manson. They'll have to reload at center. And Rantanen plays it back in. Looking very much like the guy who had 92 points during the regular season. Off Yamamoto at center, and Landeskog will play it back into Edmonton ice. On it is Landeskog in front, and Koskinen with a huge stop down to Nichushkin, and that might be huge.
That's as good as a goal if you're sitting on the Oiler bench, and Nichushkin knew it. He got everything he wanted. Again, a good hard forecheck that Landeskog wins the battle. A seam pass wide open. Look at the reaction of Nichushkin. He's thinking he's got this one easily, but a nice slide across by Koskinen. Closed the 5-hole, able to absorb that one, and that allows the Oilers to stay in the game and continue with some life. That's been a problem all game, though. That cycle in the offensive zone, Chris, where too often 3 players are puck watching, and it opens up this seam pass that's been so dangerous.
Boy, Landeskog's been noticeable tonight, hasn't he? Here comes Byram. Up ahead, Rantanen. Chips it to an open space for Kadri to skate onto it. Nazem Kadri. Back, and he failed to connect on that pass intended for Rantanen. Chased back by Hyman, and Rantanen skates away. Up at center, now sends down the ice. Avalanche making changes, and pass back to Devon Toews. His shot, and that's gloved with McKinnon doing a flyby in front.
And there's Jared Bednar again, as you had the Nugent-Hopkins line that went out against the Kadri line, and as soon as McDavid came back, stayed with that matchup. He's liked the fact that McKinnon's lines played him pretty even. We saw that both guys have been able to score in this game, but you'll probably take that. And now at the end of a shift, and Draisaitl going off, the 4th line coming on, his effective line, the Comfer line, gets back out there. All about managing the clock and managing your matchups here with a 2-goal lead.
Alex Newhook wins the face-off for the Avalanche. Byram shot it wide. There's Burakovsky back, so it's good news for the Avalanche. And that one kicked over the glass and out of play.
Boy, said ever, it's a good sight for the Calgary faithful there, as Burakovsky looked like he was going to be struggling to get himself back. But playoff time, so often you shake it off, and the last thing you will do is wanting to take a boot off if you get one down low, still limping a little bit, but at least had a short shift there.
Mikko Koskinen has stopped 13 of 14 he has faced in this game.
So now Bednar looking for a goal here, Chris. He's got top line, top D pairing against a favorable matchup.
And off the draw, Nichushkin gains control of it, but Tyson Barrie up with it, and he'll try and pivot away from Nichushkin. Kulak off the boards, and Derek Ryan able to get it out. Just missed bringing Fogle. Here's Kulak again, flipping through center. And Toews falls down. Ryan's got it. Got a man in front, and Makar rejects the pass. Kane was barreling in, and Ryan couldn't get it past Cale Makar. Ceci across. Darnell Nurse in the slot. Ryan deflects that to the corner and hits off. And out comes McDavid. Draisaitl trying to tie up Makar, but he's able to move away and send it out to center. Again, Makar with a 4-point game here tonight. And Byram rolls it past Ceci and in. Nurse lost it to Kadri. Comes to the line, Draisaitl. Now Kane. And a good stick there. Arturi Lehkonen ahead. Kadri's in. Kadri stopped by Mikko Koskinen. And the backup goalies have both been terrific here tonight in a shootout at Ball Arena.
Have they ever? And a turnover in the neutral zone. Quick transition. Kadri tries to get the backhand up and over. Look at the sprawling Koskinen, able to get the pad across and then follow it up with the glove on top. He didn't need the glove, but he got the glove there to control the rebound. Good mobility side to side. We saw it earlier with the one-time save, and then that time coming in one-on-one.
One of those Grant Fuhrer saves. A lot on the board, but make sure you don't allow the next one.
Well, you've allowed your team to stay in it. I mean, right now, Colorado's thinking they should be up by 4 with the 2 good chances that they've had and the offense that they've created. Now, just 1 goal every 5 minutes is your mantra and your mindset. If you have to get it to overtime, fine. You don't need to take chances and give any freebies to the Avalanche at this point.
Oilers win a draw. They're 32-28 to the face-off circle tonight. Archibald now out with Cassian and McLeod. There's Darren Helm dashing in. Centered, and that one popped up and hit Koskinen in front. Along the boards, McLeod able to dig it out. And now it's flipped ahead by Bouchard, bouncing right down and into the glove of Francouz.
There's another long dump in that Francouz didn't play, so immediately you've got Jay Woodcroft getting what he hopes is a matchup. Gets the Draisaitl, McDavid, and again Kane line as Jared Bednar tries to make the change. Wouldn't this be a big play if you don't get your change because you didn't play the puck? You lose a draw and all of a sudden you got a 1-goal game.
Oilers trying to get a face-off play to work, and you saw John Manson, who didn't like the way Keane lined up, but they're gonna dispute every inch of ice. Not to belabor the point, but that Makar goal ruling at the end of the first period looms even larger now, doesn't it? Face-off win by Helm. Barry trying to keep it in, but it's batted past him by O'Connor and down. And Kulak will wind it up. Draisaitl redlining in. Kane on the other side. Back across for Draisaitl. Feeds to Barry up high. Nichushkin read the pass but couldn't reach it. Now the puck popped loose. Barry tried to one-hand it, but Nichushkin's away. Here's Nichushkin right on. Rebound. Landeskog with a follow-up. Trying to turn off McDavid to the net. And a good stick there by Koskinen. Connor McDavid through center. Can't get past Landeskog, who turns him back. Ceci will send it in. There's Francouz out to knock it down. Left it there. We've got a penalty, and it looked like
Landeskog on McDavid, and there's your talk all game long. Have a conversation with the officials, say they're checking me closely, you got to give me a little open ice. This is a bad play by Landeskog at the end of a shift, a little flyby turnaround. Oilers go to the power play. David, and for the most part, there hasn't been a lot of open ice. There hasn't been a lot of easy plays. When he gets puck control, there's good support there. A call that Landeskog didn't like at all here, but in the end, that little close play in the neutral zone has given the Oilers an opportunity to try to turn it in a 1-goal game.
And Draisaitl wins the draw. Nugent Hopkins and Tyson Barrie. Here's Draisaitl shooting, and that deflects wide. Nugent Hopkins knocked it down. Hyman upended, but Tyson Barrie holds the zone. Now it's Taves, and he'll shovel a backhand out.
What a great read there by Helm and Taves. The pressure on Barrie forced the turnover when he thought he had a little bit more time, and now you're back to 10, 15 seconds trying to get the setup all over again.
Here he comes. Drops it off. Across to Draisaitl. And back onto the stick of 97. Connor McDavid leaves it. Nugent Hopkins. Draisaitl. No shot yet from Barrie. Down low, McDavid across. Draisaitl unable to get the E shot away. Nugent Hopkins back up top. Here's Draisaitl again. It'll be Barrie firing it off target. Nugent Hopkins for McDavid in front of the net. And Francouz stops Hyman. Nugent Hopkins back to McDavid, and Draisaitl gives it back to him. Great pass back to Draisaitl. Scores! A beautiful power play goal for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
You know, one of the most difficult things for goaltenders is all these plays down low. You got your head on a swivel, looking behind the net, trying to know where the threats are. So the Oilers play catch down low. There's the first chance there that Francouz does a nice job closing the 5-hole on Hyman. But now it's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins who starts this, and he just gets lost. A little interchange between McDavid and Draisaitl, quick little reaction, and nobody on the back door. And that's one, you get to outside, you kind of get away from the traffic. All the focus, as you would expect, Chris, goes to Draisaitl and McDavid when they have the puck, and Nugent-Hopkins down the backside makes this a one-goal game. Wow.
And now it does match the highest scoring Game 1 in Western Conference Final history. And we're probably not done. Within one. And over 7 minutes left. Evander Kane sends it in, and that's Yamamoto chasing after it. Yamamoto with a goal and an assist in each of the first 2 Games 1 of these playoffs against LA and Calgary. Bouchard ahead, tapped in by McLeod. Ryan McLeod now centering Keane and Yamamoto after Nugent-Hopkins was out with the power play. And Helm to the red line, trying to work it in, and does.
You go back to those Koskinen saves a few minutes ago, though, how important they have been for the Oilers.
Compher centers, Newhook, and another shot. Koskinen got across, but it looked like Newhook had a little room short side.
This line has been giving Edmonton all kinds of trouble, haven't it?
Now Cassian starts back. Archibald jumping. Archibald to the net, and deflected it just wide. Oh, what a chance that was for Josh Archibald to tie it. Kept in at the line. Kulak sends it off target. Jack Johnson buried there by Cassian. Hyman after it. Pile up along the boards. And Zach Hyman, in workmanlike fashion, got it loose for Cassian. Up top it goes for Tyson Barrie. Oilers have a little pep in their step. That shot blocked by Erik Johnson. Nugent-Hopkins, a backhand that is easily turned aside by Francouz. And the Avalanche on their heels with a clear. Game on here in Game 1. Yamamoto tried to duck in, lost it, and Ceci has to scramble back into his own zone. Yamamoto off the boards, and on the second try, played it past McKinnon. Nurse's pass doesn't reach the target, but here's Kane following up, the late offside, so the Oilers don't play it, and the Avalanche get control of it. Cale Makar up off McKinnon. Koskinen will wrap it back around. That's knocked down by Gabe Landeskog. McKinnon whipped it wide. Devon Taves sends it in behind the net. Nichushkin's been a force tonight. It'll come back to Makar. And Taves turned aside by Koskinen, kept in by Taves. Another chance here, McKinnon, and knuckled that high in the net. Now out. A lead feed for Draisaitl. Calling for it was Nurse. It's Cody Ceci, and that's blocked in front. An Avalanche player down after the block. Nurse again, blocked in front. Couple of looks for the Oilers, and they couldn't get it past the barrier in front.
I think Lehkonen got hit with both of those in the back. He was battling McDavid on the first one, and in a lump in front on the second.
Here's Warren Vogel with a backhand, and that ripped off the stick of Makar. Oilers are far from done with 4 to go, and that puck flipped over the glass.
Well, the game has heated up again as you go back and forth. Archibald, after bringing this to one, goes hard to the net. The tip up too high, and then Draisaitl looking back down. Ceci in all alone. He gets his captain right in the back of the leg. But he's seen this book before. Game 1 against Calgary. He came in and it looked like the game was out of reach, and all of a sudden it was 6-6. Well, he came in, the game looked to be out of reach, He's got a .950 save percentage with 19 saves on 20 shots. And Koskinen has been a reason why the Edmonton Oilers have been able to stay in this game, get the fight going, score on the power play. Mike Smith looks on after a tough struggle at times in this game, but now this knowledgeable crowd knows what's at stake, and what a game one this has been again.
So 4:01 to go, a one-goal game. Nugent Hopkins, McLeod, and Hyman. And the Oilers win the draw. Hyman wrapped up by Byram. Gafford tried to dig it out of there and comes up with it. The backhand hopped over the stick of Keith. Lehkonen racing after it. He's cut down by Bouchard. No call, they'll play on. Up for Hyman. And Erik Johnson there defensively. So McLeod, Nugent Hopkins together. Another one of those chess moves for Jay Woodcroft. We'll see if that reaps rewards. And here's McLeod in. Has scored here in the game. Sends that back to the line. Ceci in deep. Cody Ceci gets it back. And across for McLeod. And that shot wide of the net. Ceci plays it behind the net for Hyman. Check there, and it's moved ahead, but Cody Ceci steals it along the wall. Now Hyman will try and come out in front, and Landeskog there to take it away. Another strong play by Landeskog, and away goes McKinnon. Shifting gears, back for Landeskog, and that's turned aside. Nichushkin looks for a rebound, and Draisaitl takes it away from him. Red line and bounces it in. 2:40 left here in the third. How long until Koskinen leaves the net? Nichushkin works it past Barrie and out. Evander Kane turns back. Darnell Nurse for Draisaitl. And now he'll send it back into Avalanche territory. McKinnon unable to come up with it. And it rolls back to the Oiler line. Nurse gets away from Helm. Up ahead, too far for Draisaitl. Devon Toews has got it. 2 minutes to go here. Cut down by McLeod. Kept in. McDavid trying to go high and missed the target. Koskinen leaves the net. And the puck is skittery just wide of the cage. And icing the call, a face-off. Back in the Colorado zone with a minute 49 to go.
Yeah, the decision was already made as Koskinen going. Look at this split-second decision by McDavid. He's looking in front. Is there a passing lane? No. So he tried to go up high and off the mask of the goaltender and in. And this one was turning. Boy, it was turning to the left a little bit. If that had another 10 feet to go or more, it might have been able to curl in and find its way.
Well, I almost hate to bring it up, but the difference in the game, in a lot of people's minds, goes back to late to the first period.
It was really such a shocker. 9 seconds after the game was tied up, this Makar bullet was questioned for offside. And here's the official ruling as the puck went off of Makar. He didn't touch it again and get control. Right there, he let it go. By the time he got it back on his stick, it was deemed onside, and at a time it looked like, okay, that might be the spark that the Avalanche needed. And right now, Chris, there's your 1-goal difference.
Taking an assist away from Makar. He's got a 3-point game, a goal and 2 assists.
Well, the game has been as advertised, with the skilled players taking the speed of this game to another level, the role players getting involved. You've got goaltender issues and injuries, and now you got a big face-off.
How'd you like to sign up for 7 games of this? Draisaitl takes in Kane, Hyman, McDavid, Nugent, Hopkins, and Barrie. But Colorado won the draw. Tyson Barrie along the boards. Helm trying to clear it. Kept in by Kane. Hyman couldn't reach that. A chance for Toews. Knocked down by McDavid. For Kane, and he sent it wide. Evander Kane started the barrage tonight. Looking to get it back on even terms. But the Avalanche with a clear. 80 seconds left in regulation time. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins onto the right side. Draisaitl sends it in off Francouz. Keane trying to get loose there. Up against Makar. Sent around past the stick of Draisaitl and down the ice. Barry's got a hustle. And icing is called. Landeskog tried to beat it out. But his old teammate got to the hash marks first.
And that's a minute 42 shift for Tyson Barrie to just try to dig in. Look, he gets a little bit of a late start. You know the legs are burning. You got lactic acid there, and he's able to dig in and find a way. Remember that play. That's a big play as Landeskog was at the end of the shift, too. He did an excellent job of putting the pressure, but the end result is an offensive zone faceoff.
Oilers have struck for 3 against Francouz on 18 shots. Francouz at his best when he first got into the game in relief of Kemper. Oilers have it. Final minute. McDavid trapped by Kadri. Slots to Draisaitl. Here's Barrie. Back in front. Draisaitl rebound. Keane tries to put back. Francouz down to McDavid. Has it again. In the slot. Tyson Barrie fanned on that. Frantic action. And they'll have to reload at center. Kailer Yamamoto trying to bump it back in. Off Draisaitl and out. Couple dozen seconds left. Stolen by the captain. Landeskog scores. Missed a chance to put away Game 5 in St. Louis. Landeskog, no mistake there.
And the chances were there. Anxious moments. Francouz got 2 bodies in front, and he does a nice job of just staying calm on the rebounds, kicking that one out, getting support. And you mentioned Gabriel Landeskog. Remember the penalty he took against McDavid that made this a 1-goal game. There's the turnover and the insurance. What a crazy game. You know, thinking back to Game 1, Calgary, Edmonton, Battle of Alberta, first in 31 years. What a start to that one. First ever between McDavid and McKinnon and this group of players, and what a great first game. Buckle the seatbelt for the rest.
Landeskog 7th of the playoffs, 2nd point of the night, but he was terrific for the opening faceoff. Koskinen hands it off, and Colorado celebrates a Game 1, 8-6 victory. Everything we might have expected and more, and we're just getting started.
Taps for Francouz. Who's going to be in net for Game 2 on both sides? Excellent performance by Koskinen in relief. Amazing performance at the other end in relief as well.
What a playoff year it's been, and what an incredible night. Opening night of the Western Conference Final. Ron MacLean and the gang will have more when we come back.